beautiful, isn't it? You know, I love the great outdoors. I love getting away from the hustle and bustle of the city and just getting out into nature, whether it be up in the mountains or a local park or the beach, somewhere beautiful and tranquil where you can just be at peace and forget about the worries of the world. Because there's something amazing about the natural world around us, something peaceful and tranquil and even supernatural. But have you ever wondered, as you look at the beauty all around us, if there's something more behind it all, if there's maybe more than what the eye can see? If maybe behind this amazing design there's a grand designer. Behind the beauty all around us, there's someone who put it all together. Behind the beautiful creation, that maybe there's a creator. Well, that's the question that we come to today in the next part of our series of Come to Me, is there a God out there? And you know, this is one of the main questions that a lot of people have when they think about religion or faith and Christianity is, hey, does God really exist? And if he does, how can I know that? And that's the question that we want to address today. Is God there? And if so, what evidence is there to suggest that he really does exist, that we're not all alone in the universe? You know, people have different ideas about this. For the atheists, of course, there is no God. Atheists totally deny that there is a God. We're all alone. There is nothing more and there is no purpose to life. For the agnostic, well, they're not sure. It's like, well, I'm not sure and I don't think it's possible. Even if there was a God, maybe it's not possible to know. For the pantheist, the universe is God. The world around us, Mother Nature, is God. God is everywhere and in everything. For the evolutionist, well, again, there is no God. And we came here by chance. We just evolved from nothing. There is no purpose. There is no meaning to life. And you know, if you choose to believe one of those views, it's not a very satisfying answer to some of the deepest questions that we have in life. As someone once said, unless you assume the existence of God, the question of life's purpose is meaningless. In other words, if there is no God, then there is no purpose, there is no destiny, we have no meaning to our lives. Not a very satisfying answer to that question. So is there a God out there? Can we know? Or are we all alone in the universe? Is there any evidence to suggest that God is really there? That's what we're going to look at in today's study. So what are the evidences that suggest to us that God really is there, that he really does exist? Well, there are 4 simple things that we want to look at today. And the first evidence that suggests that God is real is creation. The world around us, the beauty that we see around us. You know, the other day I was driving home in my car just as the sun was setting, and it was absolutely stunning. An amazing, incredible sunset. I haven't seen a sunset like that in a long time. I could hardly keep my eyes on the road. The horizon was golden. The clouds were scattered through the sky and rimmed with an amazing iridescent gold and hues of pink and violet. Absolutely stunning. And you know, I find it really hard to believe that just happened by chance. That there's no design, there's no purpose behind that. You know, the world around us, the Bible actually tells us that the world around us tells us about what God is like. That through the creation, we can see the beauty of the Creator. That behind the design, there is a designer. Behind the creation, there is a grand Creator. That the creation tells us what God is really like. And I'm sure you've experienced those amazing moments yourself where you are gazing into a sunset and time just seems to stand still. Or you're just lying on the beach as the waves roll in and it's so peaceful and tranquil, and you suddenly realize that maybe there's something more going on than what our eyes can see. Maybe there is someone behind this incredible beauty and tranquility all around us. Or just hold a baby in your hands. What an amazing miracle, the miracle of life. Surely that doesn't just happen by chance or coincidence. Surely it was planned by someone great. The design speaks of a great designer. Just look at the human body and the functions and the nervous system and the brain and our sense of smell and sight and hearing, how it all works together in an intricate fashion. Surely that was designed and didn't just come into being by chance. Look up at the universe and the vastness of it, the galaxies and the billions and billions of stars. Points to a grand design. Surely that didn't just happen by chance. Even look at our world and how it all functions. You know, apparently I've heard that if our planet was any closer to the sun, that we'd all be burned, we'd be incinerated. If we were any further away from the sun, that we'd all freeze to death. And that there is just the right amount of oxygen on planet Earth for life to exist. Did that happen by chance? It seems that the world around us has an incredible design and a plan. And the question is, who planned it? Well, the Bible says that God did, that He is the one behind it all. The creation points to a creator. You know, the Bible says that through the visible world, we can see the invisible qualities of God. And that in fact, the world around us, the beauty of creation is in fact shouting out that God is real, if we will only have ears to hear that message. So that's the first thing. We can see the evidence of God through the world around us, through the incredible beauty and design of the world around us. The second evidence that God is real is through what we call God consciousness. Don't you think it's amazing that all down through history, people from all different cultures and tribes and nations have worshipped something? They've had this desire to worship, whether it's been the sun or the created things in the world, idols or gods or God Himself. People have worshipped all down through the ages, and even today there's so many religions in the world. Do you think that's just by chance? What is it in the human being that has a desire for purpose and meaning and a desire to worship something or someone greater than themselves? Surely that points to the reality that maybe there is someone out there that we desire to worship, that we want to connect with, that's so much greater than us. We have this sense of God consciousness in the human race. Where does that come from? Well, we believe it comes from God, that God placed that in our hearts. The Bible says that God has placed eternity in the human heart. So firstly, the evidence of God through creation, through the world around us. Secondly, through a sense of God consciousness. Thirdly, and here's a big one, through Jesus Christ. You know, I don't know any serious person who would deny that Jesus Christ existed. But the real question is, if He existed, then who was He? And we'll look at that a little bit in one of our later studies. But today, let me just say this. The Bible says that Jesus was sent from God, that in fact He was the Son of God, and He revealed God to us. And most people would say, well, He was a great man and a great teacher. But if you take Him seriously, and if you take the Bible seriously, you have to consider, who was He really? And if He did come from God, and if He was who He claimed to be, then that's pretty powerful evidence that God must be real. What do you do with the person of Jesus Christ if God isn't real? Either He was not who He claimed to be, He was a liar, or He was who He claimed to be, which means God must be real. So, creation, God consciousness, Jesus Christ, and the final evidence, and this is one of the most amazing evidences I find, and a very personal evidence, is through changed lives. I have met so many Christians in my life, so many people who have become Christians, and the change in their life has been amazing. It's been radical. It's been powerful. Relationships have been healed. People have given up addictions that they've had in their life. Their lives have changed around. They've found new purpose and meaning and destiny that they never had before. And I've seen that in my own life and in my friends' lives, and people I meet every week, the change in their lives when they encounter God is dramatic and incredible, and for them it's so real. You know, I heard the story once of a skeptic asking a Christian, well, how do you know that God is real? And the Christian simply replied, well, I talked to him this morning. You know, that's one of the greatest evidences, I believe, in the world today that God is real, is that he's real in the lives of people, that there are real changes and radical transformations that happen in the hearts of people, and that people today who open up their hearts to God have a real experience of his love, a real experience of purpose and meaning and hope and joy that suddenly comes into their hearts that they can't explain. It points to the reality of God. I don't know what your situation is, what your position is on that now, but I challenge you to think about those things, that maybe there is more to this world than what we see around us. Maybe there really is a God out there, and if he's there, the amazing news is that we're not alone, that we do have a purpose. There is meaning to life because God is with us.